Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. Eric, Taylor, and Ridge. Guess what they're talking about? Take a wild guess of what they're talking about. That's right. Brooke Logan trashing Brooke, trashing Hope. It's just, you get to a point where, at least for me, I feel like I have to be way more creative than the people that, run Born the Beautiful. Because it's like even before I finished that sentence, people knew what they were talking about. And of course, they're talking about Steffi and her mysterious plan. Which, okay, let's get to Steffi for a minute. This Daphne chick is I mean, first of all, she's delusional with a capital D. Steffi clearly don't understand what men actually want because in her mind, she thinks that Daphne is irresistible, and Daphne feels that she's all that in a bag of chips. She's pretty, at best. Okay? I'm not going to sit there and say anything that's lower than that, but like, she's walking around with this level of delusion like she's all that, and every man on the goddamn planet wants her. And that's majority of their conversation is that, oh, it's so easy, and Carter is pretty much putty in my hand, and I'm just like, this shit, this shit is so irritating to sit there and watch. And of course, Steffi blames all this on Hope, and Carter is under Hope's spell, and it's just that's pretty much how the majority of this conversation goes. And of course, because we got to hype Daphne like she's the best thing in town. Like, you got Carter and Hope that is just wowed by her very presence. And, she's like the essence of fragrance and perfume. And I'm just like, listen, I get it. I'm not a woman, right? I'm not going to sit there and view, hell, even as a man, I'm not going to sit there and view cologne like, oh my goodness. I mean, this guy, he's just like the. Maybe it's just because I'm not into the fashion world like that. So, like, okay, I'm trying to give this show a certain level of grace. But even with that being said, this show has a way of always hyping up somebody. Like, they're the best thing since sliced bread. And what usually comes out 10 out of 10 is that they're just really annoying. Like when Ridge and Taylor talk about Steffi. She's the best thing ever. She's a badass. She's smart. She's beautiful. She's talented. She's a great businesswoman. And And it's just like I think Eagle fans said it best. The level of bootlicking that they do just gets to a point where it gets very nauseating and very difficult to sit there and watch. And trust me, let me tell you something for a hot minute. You don't think I would love to sit there and hype this show up and start talking about all the crazy and amazing and exciting things? I don't tend out to do my reviews negative. And that goes for all four of them. But it's very hard to sit there and see some of the positives in this show when it's bombarded by a character that is overhyped and people around her that overhype her character. And they tend to do that a lot, right? Um, and of course, no, never mind. Brooke talks about how she slaps Ridge and that she's treated like another Logan. And, Hope is like, I'm so sorry to sit there and get you caught up in the middle. No, what you're sorry is for the fact that you wanted to sit there and push this plan and you didn't care about the collateral damage of your mother's relationship. Now, let's just be clear for a second. As I was sitting there watching it, and she was sorry about it, I was like, well, when you stop and think about it, this is who Ridge is. So while she's apologizing for the end of their relationship, I'm kind of like, maybe you should be thankful because this is who Ridge has always been. And I haven't watched the show as long as other people, but I can tell you right now, right off rip, that this is how Ridge has always been. Ridge has been sitting there playing these women against each other for years, going back from one to the other. He gets mad at Brooke. He goes to Taylor. And Taylor just loves her sloppy seconds because she feels like her worth isn't much. You know, she feels like her worth isn't much. And so, reality, you know, Brooke should be thankful that she got to finally see clear of who Ridge is, how their relationship is, and the fact that she can do better. And the most important part is that she deserves better. Because that's ultimately the point in both of them, in both of their lives, except for one is now seeing it clearly, and the other one is just can't wait to sit there and be second choice. By the way, the previews was a lie. They do not actually kiss. So, yeah, that's not what happens. Carter calls Daphne up and wants to sit there and set up some sort of partnership. So, also, I saw the previews and Daphne is in them. So, it's just great. And sit there and see more of her. And hear more about her and how she's the best thing since sliced bread. And I'm so not looking forward to that. I couldn't even give it a sarcastic joke. That's how bad the situation is. And I do sit there and say it's a bad situation because you got a year. You got a year to sit there and do this and get this right. I don't want any soap opera to go off the air. Not even Bold and the Beautiful. Right? Soap operas is a very unique genre. And the fact that they are told about 5 days a week. You are grown with these characters. You get to literally watch these characters grow. In General Hospital, people saw Robin grow from when she was a kid on the show to when she's a grown-ass adult. That's not something that you see in any other genre. Soap operas are unique and special in that way, and there's so much more. And I can probably make a separate video about that, but the point is, I don't want this show to go, right? There used to be way more soap operas. We actually are getting a brand new soap opera from Jump, and I really do want people to support that show. Or at the very least, give it a chance. You know? I remember there was a show called Loving. Hell, even my dad was like, he wasn't sure about how long this show was going to last. Beyond the Gates is going to last. That's pretty much all I got for this review. But I just want to give a little context to my review because I know it wasn't really positive, but unfortunately, this is the material that I work with. So it's like, anyway, we'll talk more about it tonight. That is just my general review. You could have just watched my review. Or watch Life with Jessica. She does also the Young and Restless reviews. I think there's probably only 3 people that do them. Me, Life with Jessica, and JLJ Media is the only people that generally talk about the Young and Restless. As far as soap opera content creators. If you know another person, and I don't mean somebody who used to do it. I know they used to have Lanikia. She used to do All Forward, and she just transitioned to Days of Our Lives. But, like, maybe Brock does it every now and then. If, he finds a good, interesting episode, he'll talk about it. But for the most part, it's just generally us 3. And since we don't know when James is actually going to be back doing them, it's primarily just me and Life with Jessica. Alright, that's all I got. We'll talk about it tonight in the live stream, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And as always, we talk about all 4 of the shows. Born and Beautiful, Young and Restless, General Hospital, and Days of Our Lives. I will see you in the next video and hopefully live stream tonight.